DI. And wow, what a wild week it's been. Overseas, folks, it's starting to get a lot hotter in Syria. Start paying attention to this because this could be one of those black swan events. The Russians are sending S-300 missiles in addition to 10 MiG-29, advanced MiG-29 aircraft to Syria, while Europe decides to arm the rebels. And Mr. Obama decides to hang out on the Jersey Shore and hang out with Snooki. And his red line being obviously written in chalk dust. So Syria is getting ugly, folks. This is a Cold War redo. This is the former Soviet Union saying, this is our guy, and we're giving him weapons. And the essentially NATO, minus, of course, the United States right now, saying, well, we support the people who are at least fighting for freedom. I get it, folks. Half those people, quote, fighting for freedom are hiding in caves and thinking of ways to kill us. However, the good guys, we probably need to be supporting. Bottom line of this, guys, keep an eye on it. We could wake up one day and Syria, has attacked Israel, or as Israel has said, you're not going to get those S-300 missiles because they can actually shoot down Israeli airplanes, civilian airliners, and we're not going to let that happen. You could wake up one day and the market's down, futures are down, 400 points, and the VIX is going to 90. Heads up, keep an eye on it. Very, very interesting news throughout this week. I mean, let's just do a quick recap so I can tell you where I am, at least mentally. S&P Case-Shiller on Tuesday, and the conference board's consumer confidence numbers blew it out of the water. Very interesting Tuesday. Wednesday was really quiet, and then we had conflicting numbers on Thursday. Yeah, 2.4% GDP was better than or less than the 2.5 forecast, but it still shows the economy's chugging along, or at least the train is trying to get some momentum leaving the station. Weekly unemployment claims a little higher than expected. Pending home sales, not that good. But look at what happened today. Very, very interesting numbers today. Obviously, inflation. Folks, we might even be looking at a deflationary environment. So the Fed might actually be undershooting its inflation target by a lot. But here's the headline number, folks. Personal spending collapsed and personal income went down as well. So we're seeing green shoots on Friday and brown shoots, other times, right? So consumer confidence was great, but they're spending less and they're making less. Chicago PMI came in great, and look at this. University of Michigan consumer sentiment was the highest, I think they said since 2007. So. All right, Whiz, now I'm completely confused. Well, welcome to Bizarro Market, okay? Things aren't going to implode. We're not heading for a double dip or a W or a square root. I've called it the square root, right? We went down and come up a little bit and go sideways. Folks, we're going to keep going up. I mean, this market's going to keep going up, but with the, Chicago PMI being good, consumer confidence being good, It's very interesting to see what's going to happen in this market because, as you guys know, with the Fed's quantitative easing, they're going to hang out for as long as it takes, to get unemployment down to 6.5, or I'm sorry, 6.5%, whatever target was. But take a look at what's going on. Let's take a look at the last 6 months. Okay, obviously a picture's worth 1,000 words. Here's our clown car in Washington and the fiscal cliff. Here's Janet Napolitano, the skunk, and Obama scaring us about sequester. Yawn. Here's a little Cyprus and North Korea for you throughout here. And here's a little bit of our recent buffoonery. But you can't fight the trend, right? You can't fight $85 billion a month. But this week, folks, we heard from Goldman Sachs that the Fed might be doing a little stealth tapering. With the housing market looking so good, they might actually do a little stealth pulling back on that $40 billion a month in mortgage-backed securities they're buying. So while looking at the 3-month chart, we're still obviously on a positive climb angle, you can tell right about here we're starting to maybe get a little flat, right? And this week was obviously a very interesting week. Triple digit up, triple digit down. I mean, look at this gap up, Monday And look at that, triple digits. Remember that one? And then we had that relief implosion that I called it, or relief pullback, mainly on the, quote, stealth tapering rumors that were going on. And then here we are Wednesday through Thursday with those good numbers on Thursday, and the economy actually not imploding. And it sold off into the close and then opened gap down today, but we're going up. So kind of a rocky week, and that really goes to the point that I said that we're kind of reaching cruise altitude, right? We're just slowly getting up to flight level 370 and or flight level 1650. How about that? That'd be pretty high unless it was 16,500 feet, but I digress. So we're starting to level off, in my opinion. Matter of fact, I just put out 2 weekly trades to our weekly option service, a SPX bull put spread, and then a Netflix iron condor. Both potential. These 2 trades are risking $10,000 total. If the world went to hell in a handbasket next week, the most these 2 trades could potentially lose is $10,000. Now, I briefed my traders. I sent out an SMS alert and an email with our new alert system, and actually I can put pictures in. So I put the P&L diagram, risk, reward, and break evens. Really Gucci system we have now for our weekly options and alert services. But the max potential profit out of these 2 trades is $3,500. So if these 2 trades go the way I think they're going to go, or I wouldn't be putting them on, that's $3,500 in potential profits on $10,000 in risk. I like that type of trade. So next week, what is going on the flight schedule? Well, we'll talk about it on Monday, but the biggest thing next week is non-farm payroll next Friday. So if you think this week was Bizarro week, get ready for next week, because on Friday, there you go, the unemployment rate and non-farm payroll. Is the unemployment rate going to drop? And is that going to be good news? Well, of course it's good news, Whiz, if the unemployment rate drops. No, it's not, if it's because more people are leaving the workforce. And saw a sobering statistic the other day that the number of people on disability, and apparently my definition of disability is an old one, exceeds the population of 8 of our most populous states. It's a national embarrassment and tragedy. Of course, the liberal media is not going to tell you that. Or the absolute record number of people on food stamps. Not going to hear that either. So, folks, while we keep going higher, and I keep telling my guys in my trading services and gals, this thing is going to end horribly, but it's going to end horribly higher from where we are right now. But the higher we climb, guys, the harder this thing is going to fall, I'm telling you. And I'm sitting in the back row of the movie theater with a bunch of heavies, and I'm going to be the first one that's going to smell the smoke. And guess what? I'm going to be the first one, or one of the first ones out the door. Don't be one of the last ones out the door. You're going to get killed. Okay? So, and if you're interested in that weekly option service, we have great stuff going on. Again, defined risk. You know your risk. Your max risk on those 2 trades for the week is $10,000 in paper trading, and then potential $3,500 gain. That's a 35% return potentially in a week. All you have to do is go to services here on the Top Gun Options homepage here. Just go to weekly options, and you can take a 2-week test flight into our service. Or if you're an old man like me and you have to type, go to topgunoptions.com/weekly-options. That's topgunoptions.com/weekly-options, and you can go ahead and get into our service. Just click right there to take a test flight and see what's going on with our weekly option service. And if you get in right now, you can go check out the 2 trades I just put on, or I'm trying to get filled on. Okay, got to run. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge. Have a great weekend. I'll see you Monday. If you're interested in our managed account service over at Wealth Creation Investments, and you send us an email, hopefully by the end of today, we have picked up the phone and called you, because as I said, we've been absolutely swamped with people opening new accounts, significant accounts, 401ks, IRAs, and we got some great stuff going on. Fights on Monday morning as we start trading. We're up in that service 22.4% year to date. The S&P's up 15.4% year to date. You do the math, significantly outperforming the S&P, and a max defined risk of the most, if the world ended tomorrow, would be a 10% drawdown. We have strict risk, automated risk parameters in place that start popping ejection seats if something bad happens. Obviously, worst case scenario, former fighter pilot, that's what I think of all the time. And then when it rarely happens, I have a smile on my face. Okay? So again, If you're interested, Whiz, W-H-I-Z, at wealthcreationinvestments.com. Shoot me an email, Whiz. I'm interested in the managed account service, $25K minimum. Let me know the amount you'd be interested in us managing for you, and also whether or not it's an IRA or 401K or something like that. All right, and we'll get back to you. Have a great weekend. I'll talk to you guys with our Monday market outlook. We'll see you.